Ciao, my name is Helena, I'm from Yummy Italy and I'm coming to you from the Bologna Hills during COVID-19 lockdown. So what I wanted to do is show you how to make tagliatelle, and in a previous video I showed you how to roll out your dough with just one of these rolling pins. You don't even need a long traditional rolling pin or a pasta machine. And what I'm going to do now, I've rolled out my dough. It's gorgeous, it's lovely. Obviously it's not as perfect as you would have with a pasta machine, but that's only good in the sense that you're going to get more texture and more bite, which is what you want with pasta. So if you have some tea cloths handy, preferably washed with just water, hot water, and not a ton of detergent and softener, then what you need to do, you need to roll up your dough like this. And all that's going to do is going to dry it out and just absorb the humidity so that you can then cut the tagliatelle without them sticking to each other. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to add just one more cloth, because we've still got a little bit left underneath there. I'm just going to roll that like so, and I'm going to leave that for about 30 to 40 minutes. Now, it all depends on the humidity or the hydration of your dough, but I'm going to show you how to be able to tell when your dough is ready to cut. Okay? Okay, so my dough has been resting here now, wrapped up in my tea cloths, for about 40 minutes. Okay, what I'm going to do, first of all, I need to check whether it's ready to cut. If it's too soft and too moist, then all that's going to happen is that it's going to stick to itself, which is not what we want. If it's too dry, then it's going to break. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to fold it, okay? And if I rub my finger over the fold, first of all, it's not breaking, which is a good thing. But also when I open it up, it's not sticking to itself. The other thing is that we've got a crease here. If I run my finger over the crease and the crease is staying, then that's a good thing. That means that it's ready to cut, okay? If the crease goes away, that means your dough isn't ready to cut. If it breaks in the middle, that means it's already too dry. So what I suggest you do is that you go and check it maybe every 20 minutes or so, okay? So I'm good with that now. I'm going to open that up. Okay, so in order to make this more manageable, I'm going to cut it into sections. So in terms of the length of my tagliatelle, in this case I'm actually going to make taglioline, which are a little bit narrower, I'm going to work on this length here. So this is the length that we want them. So, like I said, in order to make my dough more manageable, I'm just going to cut it into thirds, I would say. Like so. Is that? Yeah, I think that's pretty much a third. Cut it like that. I like this. Okay. So the way I'm going to do this, I'm going to work, like I said, lengthwise. Now if you use a big Pappardelle, so this particular one to roll out, there's a different technique. And since we're on lockdown and we're working with what we have and this type of rolling pin, I'm going to show you how to do it this way. Okay, so now under normal circumstances in a restaurant, they would not give you any tagliatelle which is shorter. However, we're at home, we can't go anywhere, we're not in a restaurant, and all we need to do is kind of feed hungry people. So I'm going to fold, I'm going to make a crease in the middle. I'm going to fold up towards my crease, okay? I'm going to fold down towards my crease, like this. Okay, so I'm now actually going to make kind of quite thin pasta strips. So these are the ones which are a little bit smaller than we would like. Now what you can do, you can just shake them about a little bit like that. Now I've got a special pasta cutting knife. You don't necessarily need one of these. What we can do, we can put our pasta knife in the middle, turn it on itself, and unravel the taglioline like this, or pappardelle or tagliatelle or anything you're making. So now if these, if they were too sticky, they would stick to themselves and that wouldn't be possible. So what I'm going to do, because a lot of people use drying racks. Now, I'm going to be honest, I really don't like using drying racks for the simple reason is that you put your tagliatelle over them, they hang beautifully, they look lovely, but in a practical sense, when you take them off, they're really likely to break. So some people do use them and kind of have to be really careful, and they put them in a jar or they put them in a box, then you need a large box. And so afterwards I'm going to show you a really easy method to store your tagliatelle and dry them, okay? And I'm just doing this just to kind of get some air inside. So I have this special tagliatelle pasta cutting knife. As you can see, it's got a square end. I'm going to put that in the middle, and they're going to just open up the other. That lot fell off the end there, but it doesn't matter. So what we're going to do, we're going to do this. Don't need to worry about kind of keeping them long and beautiful, because I'm going to show you what to do next. Okay, and again, knife in the middle, and they just kind of unroll all by themselves. So it's really easy. But even if you don't put the knife in the middle, I'll show you, you can just unroll them just by shaking them a little bit. Okay, and what I'm doing now, I'm just kind of letting them air dry just a little bit more. Okay, this is my next sheet. Going to fold in the middle, 2 rolls to the middle, like that. And as you can see, they're not completely dry, so the dough breaks. This is kind of quite a delicate point. So you've just got to make sure that the dough isn't too dry so it breaks, and it's not too wet so it sticks to itself. Okay. If you don't have one of these kind of pasta knives, you can use a normal knife to lift up, just like this. So what I'm going to do, I've cut those. I'm just going to lift them up like this and just give them a good shake. Okay? And that's how you unravel your noodles. Really easy. Don't kind of need any kind of special equipment. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put them out on my board like this. Leave them to just dry off a little bit. Okay, put my knife underneath. Where the crease is, I've got the edge of my knife. Bring it up on the board and lift up. Okay, and that's a really lovely method for them to unravel by themselves. I kind of give them a pull each because I'm just incapable of cutting them right through for whatever reason. Like that. Give them a good shake. I'm not adding any extra flour at the moment, okay? So, you know, I see all these photos on Instagram like, oh, let's just put a ton of flour so it doesn't stick. All that happens when you add all that flour is that you end up with this kind of like gooey mess in the pan, which is not necessarily what you want. You know, flour equals goo. You want your sauce to stick, or whatever condiment you have to stick to your pasta. Okay. Now you can do this, just kind of spread them out over your board a little bit. Leave them to dry off. Not completely, because otherwise they're going to break. There we go, leave those to dry for 5 minutes.